Hi there, Joanne Gates, business and life coach for professional women, and I want to talk to you today about getting that next promotion. It's one of the top challenges that I hear from clients. You've been working your butt off, doing some great work, and yet those promotions are so elusive and you're just not sure what you're missing in order to get that coveted promotion. I have 4 steps for you to finally get you on that path to promotion and land that next promo that you've been striving for. In my 30 years at Microsoft, 25 or more of them as a manager, I have promoted a whole bunch of folks, and I've also rejected promo requests more times than I can say. So I speak from experience in what I'm about to go over with you. Let me go over what the 4 of them are, and then we will go through each in deeper detail. First is I always encourage everyone, you believe that you're ready for a promotion, you write your own promo justification. That's number 1. 2, you have to make sure that the job that you're in actually has the scope and capability of being promoted. Some jobs have a natural cap. Are you in one of those? You better know, because if you are, that's one of the stumbling blocks that's happening why you are not getting promoted. Third, can you draw a clear and strong line between the work that you are doing and what your senior leadership organizational goals and charter are? Little hint, if you can't, this is another blocker that is holding you back. Fourth, getting the support from your senior leaders and any other decision makers in the promo process. You have to be out there marketing yourself and making sure everyone knows you and what you bring, and they're all ready to say yes when your name comes up in the potential promo pool. Let's break them each down into a little more detail. Again, step number 1 is writing your own promo justification. Many people that I talk to think, what the heck is this? What are you talking about? I can do this? What? We can do this from a couple of different angles. 1 is getting it written down exactly why you believe that you are ready for a promotion. So many times I would hear from a manager, so-and-so's been in this job for 12, 18, 24 months and doing a good job. It's time to promote them. The answer to that was always no. That is not enough of a reason for someone to get promoted. At least it wasn't at Microsoft. You need to go through and write down why you are demonstrating that you are providing all this great impact and that you are ready to take on even larger scope, because that's what a promotion really means. It isn't just higher pay. That's what an annual pay increase is meant to do, is meant to say, you're doing a good job, keep doing that job, and we're happy with you. A promotion, by definition, means you're operating at a next level and you're ready to take on the responsibilities, scopes, and expectations at that higher level. Now, once you have this promo justification, there's a number of different things that can happen with it. If you have a good relationship with your manager, you should be sitting down with him or her and saying your case for why you believe you're ready for a promotion. This gives you great foundation to hear from that person, that manager, why they disagree with you. If they agree with you, great, but oftentimes there's some gap. And they're going to point out to you, well, yes, you're doing these things, but that's not what I'm really looking for out of you. This gives you a more black and white opportunity for understanding what gaps exist between what your understanding is of a promo justification and what your manager is looking for before they will even advocate for you at that next level. Now, a little side tip here. Some of what I do is in the life coach space, not just the professional space. And in that area, we focus a lot on our thoughts and emotions and very often limiting beliefs. When you're writing this promo justification, if you don't really believe that you are ready and can prove your worth, that will show up in your writing. It will say, well, I've been doing it for a period of time. I kind of just think that, I'm ready. And your manager will feel that and you don't really believe it. So one of the aspects for you to investigate is, do you really truly believe it? And if not, what are the limiting beliefs that are holding you back? You may need to do some work to go and increase your belief. Go find the evidence that you need of why the work that you are doing is absolutely fantastic and worthy of a promotion. And when you create this justification document, you're doing a number of things. One, you are messaging clearly to your boss that you believe you're ready and that you're open to the conversation of, if you don't think so, let's talk about what the gaps are and what the steps will be to have your manager support that promo. Second, at Microsoft, managers had to fill out a promo justification. So if your manager's like, yeah, I've been thinking that same thing, but I haven't gotten around to the logistical stuff of writing it all up, you get to say, here you go, manager, copy, paste, edit a little bit, but I've taken 80-90% of the administrative paperwork tax off of your shoulders. I want to make it as easy for you as possible to support my promotion. The next aspect is, are you in a role that is promotable? So there are some positions that have a natural cap to them. One that's an easier one for me to talk about is at Microsoft. Our admin pool had a very limited number of levels, I think 3. And once you hit that top level, you had no upward mobility in that particular job function. It was very clear and set. So are you in a position that has a natural cap? Part of the promo justification that I was experienced with had the components that we need talent at a higher level to do this job. So there was a business need to pay someone that next pay scale because we were going to get all these results out of it. So the business need was always first. Second was the personal readiness. And third was budget. And budget's always a concern. If you have, room to promote 2, 3, 4 people in your organization and you've got 10 or 15 that might be ready, you really need a strong justification for why you are in that top tier of promo candidate. So have that investigation of, is this job promotable? And if it isn't today, is there a way, again, generally through increased scope, that you can make it promotable? Next is, I ask clients this all the time. You're looking for a promo. How do your deliverables, your piece of the work align to senior leadership's goals and what they are measured on? And sometimes I hear, yeah, they're really not. I just do this administrative tasks, or I back end stuff, or behind the scenes things. And very often I say to that person, you've got to be able to draw a line. You may need to do some work to figure out how the work that you're doing is associated with those key business objectives, but that's work that you have to do, because if you don't see it, your manager might not, and certainly the people that are deciding on a promo are definitely not seeing it. They're like, yeah, they're doing administrative tasks, whatever, not where I'm going to put my limited resources from a promotion budget. Finding those scenarios and those ways to make sure that you're great at storytelling and showing, yes, I'm doing back-end work, but that back-end work is keeping a site up and running, keeping the security fantastic, keeping our customers incredibly happy, and driving the loyalty that we need. Whatever the things are, you may see them as keeping the trains rolling, but let me tell you, in business, keeping trains rolling smoothly is a key driver for the revenue or whatever the business outcomes that your boss's boss, and on up, what their salary is tied to. If you can't find that correlation, that's work that you need to do to go find it, create the right story around it, and that's got to be part of that business justification. Step 4. Now, your manager supports your promo, and they're going to have to go into some room and say, it should be Sarah in the top 3. And maybe there's only room for 3 or 4, but there are 10 other folks in that candidate pool. So when your manager goes into that room and says, Sarah's ready and I want to promote her, how many of the other decision makers think, oh, I know Sarah, I know exactly what she does. Absolutely, she's ready to be promoted and she does great work and we want to see her continuing to grow, stay in the organization. Promotion is the right next step for her. If your answer is no one else knows me, my manager does, my manager's manager knows me a little bit, then your work is going to be in getting much more visibility and coming back to that storytelling, finding those opportunities to utilize that visibility and highlight the work that you, your team, you're part of the function that you're delivering. If no one knows who you are, then when they come to evaluate this mythical Sarah, they're like, but can't be that great of impact if I don't know who she is, what she's doing. A lot of women shy away from those opportunities for visibility and they think, I just want to sit, do my work and have it show for itself. Just doesn't happen in corporate. Maybe if you've got an amazing manager and they are taking the lead in advocating for you and highlighting your work when you're not around, that's a sponsor. But very often you're going to have to do some extra work to get to know these other individuals, find ways to be in additional rooms or meetings where you have an opportunity to add some of your insight. And another pro tip, if you're in a room and you don't have a particular speaking role, I always encourage my clients to find a way to ask a really great question. Not one that says, hey, everyone look at me. This comes from your natural curiosity. You want the business to continue to improve and move forward. If you can find that voice, find that courage to ask that group a very good business question, those leaders in the room are going to have more respect for the way you think about a problem, the courage and conviction to speak up. And it shows your curiosity and that you're willing to go outside of whatever lane that you may be in. Now, I'm not saying be disruptive or anything that would go against your corporate culture, but if you can find those opportunities to have a second where some eyes are on you for the right reasons, that adds to your visibility and adds to your opportunity for those other decision makers to again say, oh yeah, Sarah came to that meeting, asked that great question. It actually challenged the way we were looking at something, and it helped us see that we needed to do something different. Sarah adds a lot of value to the team and is a great member of the team. Okay, this has only been a few minutes, but here are those 4 elements of getting your next promotion. 1, writing a really strong promo justification. And if you can't do it, your boss can't either, and whoever the decision makers are not going to support just some promo. So do the work to write a promo justification. Share it with your boss and others. That lets them know that you believe that you're ready and opens up the conversation for tell me where I am not and what I need to do and what will it look like? What will it take for you to say yes, that you are supportive of me getting a promotion? Fantastic conversation to have with your manager or potentially your manager's manager. It's another pro tip that I recommend to all of my clients is having we called it a skip one-on-one. So a meeting with your boss's boss. This does not have to be a situation where you are just showing all of the things that you do. There might be 5 or 10 minutes of that. But I would say the bulk of the conversation is you asking them great questions to help you grow and improve. Step 2 is make sure that you are in a job, in a role that is promotable. If you aren't, might be time to look for a lateral position that has more upward mobility and career progression available, or find ways that you can make your role promotable. Can you find more scope to take on? Can you find some way to change it up that would make that role more promotable? Make sure that your outcomes, deliverables, your projects are directly aligned with your senior leadership's goals. You may have to do a little bit of work here to find that story, but find it and tell it and repeat it and say it with conviction. Lastly is getting the support of all the key decision makers. The more of them that automatically say yes when your name is being discussed for possible promo, the easier you have made it on yourself. You do that through visibility, maybe through one-on-one conversations, through additional special projects that you might take on, and continuing to show your impact and your future capabilities. All right, I hope that you have found this helpful. I currently am taking on new clients. If you are in a spot where you just feel stuck, you like your job, you may like your manager, and you just feel like you keep getting passed up for promotion, let's work together and put these 4 steps into practice and get you that promotion. Here is a QR code to schedule a complimentary consultation where we'll find out what is going on with you, and you get to see if I would be the right coach for you moving forward. All right, have a wonderful day, everyone. Go get promoted.